Today, I felt like doing something a little different for a change. By which, I mean reviewing another song from the 1980s, although this doesn't mean I'm going to break away from all the chains that bind. Who's been screwing with my script again? Okay, let's try that again. This doesn't mean I'm going to break away from the normal railway topics in future. Last time I tried reviewing a song, the subject was Over My Head by Toni Basil, and more recently, I thought I'd have a go at reviewing her biggest hit, Mickey. In an effort to avoid copyright issues, I will not be playing any clips of the song itself. Instead, this video's background footage will be made up primarily of either Metrolink trains in Los Angeles, recorded in Trains in World 5, or real-life footage of the Tyne and Wear Metro Class 994. I use that footage specifically because Toni's oldest song, Breakaway of 1966, is apparently considered an example of Northern Soul. I don't know what that means, but regardless, it reminds me of Newcastle upon Tyne. Although she is perhaps best known for this one-hit song, Toni Basil also has a long history of working as a dancer and choreographer with various big names, including Elvis Presley, David Bowie, and Tina Turner. For anyone who wants to learn more about Toni's career, I recommend watching her interview on the Words That Move Me podcast with Dana Wilson. I'll include a link to the podcast in the description. Mickey was released in 1982 as the lead single from Toni's first studio album, called Word of Mouth. However, it was originally recorded in 1979 by the British band Racy, whose version is named Kitty. As for why the name was changed for Toni's cover, I honestly don't know. In any case, 1982 has long been one of my favourite years for music, especially since it gave us songs like Telegraph Road by Dire Straits, which is actually my favourite song of all time, Only the Lonely by the Motels, Red Skies by The Fix, and Only Time Will Tell by Asia. Kitty/Mickey was originally written by Mike Chapman, who I have heard of, and Nicky Chin, whom I've never heard of, with the cheerleader chant added to the cover version by Toni herself. For the sake of not making a right fool of myself, I'm not going to try singing said chant in this video, but in saying that, I did come up with a parody of the chant for my latest Thomas the Tank Engine story. Feel free to check it out if you want to hear the parody. The song starts with a loud drum riff, which is soon accompanied by Toni doing the iconic cheerleader chant over said riff. As the chant is repeated, you'll start to hear guitars building up in the background before the distinctive melody kicks in. I'm not sure what instrument it's played on, but I'm guessing it's either a synthesizer or some sort of organ. In any case, the melody can be heard again throughout the song, particularly under the chorus, and while I'm on the topic of the instrumentation itself, the drum track on Mickey kind of reminds me of Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting by Elton John. On the whole, Mickey is by no means a serious song. It's more of a novelty than anything else, and I can understand if people don't like the song, but personally, I've always liked it. Besides the cheerleader chant, Mickey is also famous for its music video, which was directed by Toni Basil herself. It features rather elaborate choreography from Toni and a band of cheerleaders, not to mention the singer famously wearing her original cheerleading uniform from Las Vegas High School. As I saw in the Words That Move Me podcast, she still has that uniform to this day. The choreography is made all the more impressive when you learn that Toni was 38 when she shot the video. She's an octogenarian now, but can still dance really well, if you ask me. As an aside, if I was to ever write a Weird Al-style parody of Mickey, it would be written about my cat because her name is Maggie, and that sounds very similar to Mickey. I've only seen clips of the Mickey music video, and have never watched it all the way through because it uses the shorter radio edit, and, to be honest, I hate radio edits with a passion. Fortunately, the album version of Mickey is a bit longer, at 4 minutes and 12 seconds. There's also a rare extended version that goes for 5 minutes and 56 seconds. I found that under an interesting second music video that doesn't feature the cheerleaders, only Toni performing the song with a backing band. As I alluded to earlier in the video, Mickey was Toni Basil's only top 40 hit, which is a shame if you ask me, because I think she deserved better. She released one more album after Word of Mouth, in the form of a self-titled album in 1983. It features 9 songs, of which 4 were released as singles, but the only one of them that charted on the Billboard Hot 100 was an absolute banger called Over My Head. Sadly, it only got as high as 81. The extended version of Over My Head has since become one of my favourite songs of all time, and other tracks from the album that I recommend checking out are called Do You Wanna Dance, Street Beat, Spacewalking the Dog, and Best Performance. Toni never released a third album, but she kept busy as the years went on, and is still working and doing shows as of early June 2025. At the end of the day, and despite some questionable lyrics in the second verse, I still think Mickey is a good song, and would recommend it to other fans of 1980s pop or new wave music. However, it's not my personal favourite Toni Basil song. That honour goes to Over My Head, a song whose praises I can't sing highly enough. A few weeks ago, I discovered that Toni Basil has her own YouTube channel, called Toni Basil's House, and she's also active on social media, so there's a chance, although I realise that it is a very small chance, that she may see this video for herself. And Toni, if by some miracle you're actually watching, I want to sign off by thanking you for A, being an inspiration to loads of people over the years, B, doing choreography on the music video for one of my mum's favourite Talking Heads songs, and C, bringing us great songs like Breakaway, Mickey, and Over My Head.